I wanted to start with a practice guitar, so this is the Glary guitar I got. This was so inexpensive, it was $80 right to my front door. I thought since it's the Telecaster body that it would make a great practice guitar for us to do this patina work on. So I pulled all the electronics out, disassembled it, and this is what we're going to use and upgrade. So here it is after first time 220, second time going over with 500. A little bit of body filler in places I found, so obviously the wood grain guitars are the better quality guitars. But for what I'm doing, this is going to be just great. It's Wednesday. Wednesdays are teacher work days, and I thought that I would do a little bit of setup, getting ready for this project. It's been a few years since I've done a patina project, so I'm going to take this piece here, which is it's a Telecaster knockoff, and I'm going to go ahead and work on it today, but I need to build my stand that I can use so I can get a 360-degree view of what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to use Brad Angove's design a bit to do what I'm doing, and I don't have my paint booth set up at this point, so I've kind of made a makeshift booth in here. A lot of folks think with patina it's easy to shoot, but with patina there's a symmetry that needs to go with it, and that's what I need to practice on before I move to the Stratocaster that we're going to do. I'm really excited about this project, so hopefully I can work on it today, get the station set up, and I'm hopeful that I can get some of the base coats on the body to start working with. So here we go. Some of the setup that I've got to do today involves building the mount for where we're going to be able to hook the guitar up that's going to come out, and I'm going to run it through. This is off the vinyl printer. We get those rolls that come on this really thick cardboard, so I thought until I can build the permanent stand to do this with for today, I thought I'd just bore holes through this and make a temporary mount using the vise so I can pivot this around. But I'm going to have to build a square that we'll be able to bolt the body of the guitar onto, and also we're going to have to tape off, because where the neck fits in, we don't want to fill this cavity with any paint at all. Just going to do a lot of cleaning today. Might hit it one more time, sanding, and then I'm going to get all the oils off my hands off of there. I'll take some close-ups of it, but you can see anytime you touch a finish like this, you leave oils. And we got to have that perfectly clean before we start to shoot. So today, hopefully the film will go, the video will go, and I can edit it down and you'll see some of the process. Not sure what I'll get done today, but we're going to give it a shot. I needed to make a template for the wood mount. So one of the things I really admire about Brad Angove is that guy is so sure of himself, and he's done this so many times. He moves really fast, and I've learned so much from watching him paint. Building this, I'm going to set it up in such a way that I'm not going to have, I don't believe, those fast paint movements. So we're going to be using some square pegs and round holes, maybe to give a little bit more resistance to what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and if you all know me, you know I work with steel. I'm a metal worker, and the patina jobs we've done in the past have been on cars. So this is the first time doing something like this, and I just want to take my time, and there'll probably be a lot of sanding and redoing to get this right. But what I'm doing right now is I just made this that's going to slide in here. I'm going to make it a 3-point mount that will hold, and then I'm going to affix it to this that will go through and give me a whole lot of room to work when I'm shooting. So I'll go ahead and I'm gonna mark my holes and get this set up ready to go, and then I'll tape off and we'll get this thing mounted up. Admittedly, not my all-time best work, but for today, for what I'm doing, just trying to get prepared with this, I think it's going to be just fine. Got a little safety here just so we don't come out. Not bad.
I'm getting ready to prep this surface. The product that I am using is a surface cleaner. Now this is for automotive finishes. I believe it's going to work, and then I'll go over it with like a Windex just to get any residue off of there. And then we should be ready for some base coats of primer. Dust on here. Now we're doing this outside, which I realize that is not the way to get the best finish, but with what I'm doing, I just want to practice this patina technique, and I want to be able to see how it's going. So I'm going to start with Duplicolor Automotive Primer. The reason I want to use this particular color is with the patina that we're going to do, I want this thing to look like it's ancient. I want it to look old and rusted, so when I do this and I sand down, it will go to what looks like a rusted metal color. And this is fillable primer, so I'm going to go over it with this, and we'll let this set up, give it a sand. I'm going to do more coats than what normally people would do, knowing with all the coats that are going on, there's going to be a lot of sanding that takes place to age this piece. What I want to do is I'm just testing my spray pattern to know exactly how my nozzle is going to lay this out. So just like Brad says in his video, that's exactly how I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to get these edges first, and then I'm going to get my flat spots, and I'm going to do this, like I say, multiple times. Now, I probably should have put some tape in the holes that I'm working with, but again, this is more of a test for the patina style than anything.
Like I said, I have never painted a guitar before, and I'm just going to shoot this like it was a body panel. I'm going to lay this primer on thick, and I'm going to go multiple coats, and then all my base coats that you're going to see are going to be sandable primer, including the white. I was a little bit nervous about how this was going to come out, so I went ahead and I sanded this first coat. I put a little bit of black primer on and sanded as well. And then I'm going to go with the white primer and sand. You'll see that I intentionally am gouging with the 220 sandpaper here, so the next layer of primer will fill that scratch, and as I take it down, it looks scratched, but it feels perfectly smooth. So I just sanded the white, and I laid a dark Kona brown just in some certain spots. And I'm going to follow that up. This hasn't even been on 2 minutes. I'm going to follow that up with this was a gloss Kona. And I'm going to follow it up with some flats and some different colors that will blend. And then we'll let it just set overnight, and we're going to let this thing cure so we can do a little bit of sanding here and there. Not sure what colors I'm going to put on all of them, but probably end up with a turquoise tonight and see how that looks. So we've hit some different colors of brown, and to give just a pop, and again, when you do this, you aren't going thick. You're given different colors to do different things. So I gave just a funky color of green that I found that I only use it in bits. It's just such a dark green that it gives a black look until the light hits it just right whenever you're getting finished. So again, you zebra stripe this thing, and I don't know if it's showing up as well, but whenever you patina it out, it comes out great. So I threw some flat black, some gloss black, and then got to have a little bit of Ford Racing blue spattered on just to give it a little bit of pop. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with what my would-be top color is that turquoise that you see on so many vintage cars, that will be the top coat, but then we sand that, and we're going to take it down and bring all those other colors out to make it look just completely vintage, old car vintage, like found out behind the barn vintage. So let's see if it works. You can never, never, never go wrong with the top coat of Pontiac blue. So all those colors are underneath here, just waiting to get out. And we're going to, once this cures, we're going to start working on it. And this is where the symmetry comes in when you're sanding, but you gotta let this final stage, you gotta get it hard and cured. And we're not gonna be able to wet sand this one, so it's gonna go through a good amount of sandpaper to do it. I've never done it without wet sanding, but let's see what we get, and we'll go from there. To give you an idea of just how many colors we used, this is the swatch pattern that I had that I tested my nozzles on, and you can see the names of the individual colors on the cans. I'll start sanding tomorrow and get some more pictures, but for now, this is part 1. Thank you.